Good morning, soccer fans, and welcome to Stoppage Time, the show that covers the most popular sport in the world. We are back, folks. We've been off for about a month and a half, Ed.
Right, just about that.
Yeah, so we could probably do a 3 4 hour show. That 3 hour 4 hour show that would get you all up to speed on everything that's happened in the last month and a half because there's been a lot that's happened. But we won't do that. We're going to keep it short and sweet, but we're going to cover everything. Lots of news, lots of things going on. We got the UEFA Champions semifinals. Then there were four. We're going to get into that. We'll talk some headlines, and then we're going to look at some leagues and races and where everybody's at points wise. So, well, how are we doing this morning, Ed? I forgot to open up with that.
We're doing well. The weather is much better now, so everybody will be
Great, isn't it?
outside, and we cannot complain about the weather, at least this stretch.
No, we cannot. That is definitely sure. It's very nice in old Pittsburgh. So, but like I said, everybody, we've been away for a while. We've had some scheduling conflicts and things like that, but stuff's kind of slowing down for us a little bit now. So we're back in full force, and what a time to be back too. We got all these these races happening in the different leagues, point races. UEFA, Europa. We got got a lot to talk about. It's a good time to come back. We kind of get back into it and hit the ground running, so to speak. So, but yes. So let's talk some headlines here. So then there were four. UEFA Champions League semifinals are officially set. How about my club, Arsenal, knocking out reigning champions Real Madrid? How about that? I mean, a commanding win, 5-1. I mean, Real Madrid, they were trying to win this. Like they were going all out on this. And I don't know. I don't know what to say about my club. You beat a team like Real Madrid, but then you draw to Everton. I understand they sat some guys out for Everton, but I don't know. That was a triumphant win for the Gunners. Just
It really was.
well,
They played extremely well. Who knew Declan Rice had those set pieces in him?
right.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Really,
Well,
truly.
and listen, I get it. They're and I don't agree with it, but in essence, I think they've almost kind of packed it in when it comes to the domestic race, and now they're just like, hey, we're in the semi, we're in the we're in the finals for we're in the semifinals for UEFA. Let's win this UEFA. Let's this is the Super Bowl, really. I mean, it's Europe's biggest your biggest stage. So I think they're kind of saying, hey, you know what, this is probably the easiest path to hardware this year. The domestic league. I hate to say it, but Liverpool's running away with it. I know they did like a they did like a simulation, yeah, and it was like, oh well, how much was it? It was like 1,000 to 1 or something like that. That they basically Liverpool would have to lose out in order for Arsenal to have any chance. So, but yeah, I mean, going up against PSG. I know they interviewed Beckham, and he was talking about on Arsenal. He praised Arsenal. He said, "Listen, their win over Real Madrid, that's something definitely to hang your hat on." But they asked him, "Will you be rooting for them?" He said, "No, I will not be rooting for them. Can't go against his former club, PSG. I get it. I get it. I respect the hell out of David Beckham, like the guy." But yeah, I get it. How do you think they match up, Ed, against PSG?
Arsenal, I think they have a fantastic shot. I really do.
Yeah,
they do many things well, and I don't think PSG has the firepower to keep up with them.
I really don't either.
I think their defense is tremendous, and I think that's going to be the difference. I mean, PSG can get creative scoring wise, but I really think that
Yeah.
Difference, honestly, is going to be the defense. Their defense, they just play so well. And now you have Declan Rice in pristine form. I mean, who knew he was going to play that well? His set pieces are just absolutely amazing.
Right.
And you add to the fact that he's a line-to-line guy. And what I mean by that is that he will absolutely chase you down.
Right.
I saw it over and over again. I mean, and the problem with PSG is they dominate their league. They're 20 points up in their domestic league. So are they getting the level of competition that exists in the Premier League? I don't think so.
Right.
So for me, it looks like a clash between Barcelona and the Gunners in the final. That's just my pick.
Yeah. You think, and that was what I was going to go to next. You got Barcelona and Inter Milan. I don't see Inter Milan doing. I just don't see them upsetting Barcelona. Barcelona's just too tough. I just don't see it. I know people are saying, oh, you got to look out for Martinez. You got to look out for, Thuram is another guy that's, I just don't see. Martinez is their leading scorer. I mean, he's
without a doubt.
He's been, he's been their X factor, but I just don't see them. I don't see them beating Barcelona.
I do not.
I mean, Rafinha, come on, dude. That guy's, Lewandowski's having a stellar year this year. I mean, look at their firepower next to Inter Milan. It's just Inter Milan, I think, is maybe a little bit better defensively. I think they can kind of lock it down a little bit, but you're not going to be able to lock it down against Rafinha and Lewandowski. I'm sorry, you're just not going to be able to do it. And even Yamal too. He's another guy.
Yamal's the stud.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he is. It's going to be very difficult for Internacional to do anything. That's why I'm going with. I think the obvious choices.
Right.
Which is the Gunners versus.
And that's going to be really a good matchup. I mean, hey, I know we're kind of putting the cart before the horse, but that's what we do here, right?
What we do. We don't need no horses. We just need some cows.
Yeah. But no, I think it'll be a great matchup, and but hey, stranger things could happen.
There's no doubt about it. But I mean, on paper, I look at the final being, the Gunners versus Barcelona. I really do.
Yeah. I want to ask you something about PSG real quick. What do you think? Do you think that they've done? Have they went all in? I mean, this is a team and an organization that has the best of the best in the world. I mean, billion with a B, $1 billion facilities. Have they kind of went all in or no? I mean,
well, obviously they're not. They're still. I mean, they have the best facilities in the world. I mean, if you have a chance, Google it, look at that. It's a premier facility. Never seen anything like it, even in our country.
Right.
They're still not drawing. The very, very top. Like you look at the top stars in England. You look for Alexander Arnold. As an example, he's not looking to go to Paris Saint-Germain. He's looking to go to Real Madrid. They're still dominating. Real and Barca are still dominating, as well as City, Liverpool, Arsenal. They're still getting
Well, and I really think that it all stemmed from when Mbappe left. He kind of was like, you know what, he didn't, he just didn't. And they offered him a ton of money. If I remember correctly, they matched it. And he still kind of saw the writing on the wall and was like, yeah, no, I think I'm going to go elsewhere.
So here's a trivia question for you, and this will explain everything. How many French teams have won UEFA?
I don't know.
One.
Is it one? I didn't. I knew it wasn't that. I was going to say none, but
and the winner was not Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah, it was who?
I think it's Marseille, but I have to check myself.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, you got Dembele, you got Mendes, you got Barcola. Outside of that, you really don't have you really don't have.
And there's no doubt about it. They dominate. They absolutely dominate their domestic league. They just do.
and that's not saying much either.
No, because they're not getting the competition they need.
No, and like I said, the real litmus test is when all these stars are leaving. Leaving that league. They don't want to stick around. They get better. They get better offers, and not so much better offers, but they see a better. They see a better. I don't know. They see more lucrative opportunities. I guess is what is.
Yeah.
Basically boiling it down.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's no doubt about it. They actually do. I mean, they made the final. They lost to Bayern Munich in 1920. I mean, 2019 to 2020. And they lost to Bayern Munich 1-0, and that was in home. That was no, I'm sorry, it was at Portugal. They only have one. I can't remember who it is, and it was not. It was a while ago too. Their one win.
Yeah.
Which is hard for them to hang their hats on, but I just don't think they're domestically strong enough.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Like I said, it's going to be Tuesday. You got Arsenal and PSG, and then Wednesday you got Barcelona and Inter Milan. So by the time next week when we do the show, we'll know who is going to be in the finals here. So
that's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
That's another one on our bucket list.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some other headlines here, there, Edward. So, talk Europa to me. What do you like in that?
I like that they have Europa, but it's opened up a very peculiar matchups in the Europa League. You have, I mean, and Man United historic comeback. We all know that, but they never should have got to the point where they were.
Right.
The game, first of all, they go up, they 2-1 in France with Lyon, and their goalie is just terrible. Onana is god awful, and I heard a description of how he is. He doesn't play the ball well with his feet. He doesn't catch well. He doesn't read the plays well.
Yeah,
that is essentially the entire description, the job description of a goalkeeper.
Right.
Right. So I mean, it's just he's just not very good. So they go up 2-0 at halftime. Any other European club would milk that till they won the game 2-0. They don't. They put on this prevent a win defense where everybody shuts down. Onana's even worse. Doesn't even react to some goals that go in, which I don't even know how that's possible. If you're reading the play, you know that you either go left or right. Make a move. Twice he was flat-footed on the first two goals. But that's fine. They go 2-2. In the 88th minute, Lyon gets a man sent off for another yellow, making it a red. So you figure, hey, going to overtime, they're going to win. Nope. Lyon goes up 3-2. They get a horrible penalty by Luke Shaw in the box. They go up 4-2. And then Casemiro got a penalty in the box. It was 4-3. And then Casemiro assisted on the Kobe Mainu goal, 4-4. And then this is how bad their form was. They had no more forwards left, or at least nobody they trusted. So they put their center back up forward. I mean, it was just Harry Maguire, which, I don't like him on defense anyway because he's too slow. He's 6'5".
Right.
He takes a beautiful ball from Casemiro and buries it in the net with a header. But again, you're playing against 10 men. You never got to the thing. And they play Athletic Club, which, from La Liga, which is going to be tough. It's going to be really tough if they play like
it is.
And on the other bracket, you have Tottenham versus a club from Norway, which I don't think anybody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
But I think they're Boga. What are they again?
Yeah.
So you have two. So it shows you that it's Bodø Glimt. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of them. But if you look at the eight teams that are left in the major European championships, 50% of them come from the Premier League. That's all you need to know, folks. 50%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So you got one from France, one from Norway, two from Spain, but you have four from England.
Yeah. So. Yeah, when you look at the top scorers, when you look at Man United and Atletico, both Williams, 5 goals apiece. Nico and Inaki, I think is how you pronounce it.
And Nico is a bad boy. Nico is a very, very good player.
Yeah, he's gonna be a problem for Man United. And you got Holland and you got Fernandez, both with 5 goals as well. Then behind them you got Sanset and Dalot that both have 2 and 3. So pretty evenly matched, matchup. But in terms of scoring, but I think Atletico is just a little bit. I don't know. They're a little bit more physical team, and you hit the nail on the head. Nico Williams is a bad boy. I agree.
And domestically,
he's going to be a problem for them.
Yeah. Domestically, they're in the top 4 of La Liga,
right?
Which Man United are not. They're 15th in the table. So, but I mean, it just shows you how powerful the English Premier League is and how talented it is. Yeah. You're not going to get much better than that than having 50%. 50%.
No. Right. That tells you all you need to know. We've been preaching this for it is the no pun intended. It is the Premier League. It is the Premier League in the world. It is, So
yep.
It is. That's no joke. The numbers back that up too. So, but
yeah, and unfortunately, when they do, I was reading more about those world rankings. They do total number of teams, but then they just made England just got gypped a team. Now they only have 5, where other nations have 6 that it can qualify for, which is absurd. England should have 6 once they went to the new format, but that's neither here nor there. But it does. It shows you they are the Premier League.
Right. Spurs, I mean, you don't have really any. I mean, you got what? Brennan Johnson, he's one of their top scorers. I think Solanke's up there as well.
Yeah.
That Sung Heng Min as well. He's one of their top scorers. They don't blow it out of the water. On the other side for Bodo, you got that what's his name? Casper Wurst, I think is his name.
Casper Wurst. Yeah, they're not. I mean, honestly, Bill, this should be an All England final. It could be an All England final. Definitely, Tottenham's going to win.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Tottenham lose.
Yeah. I don't either. I haven't watched much of Bodo, but
much of Bodo. I had to look him up.
I've seen them a couple times. I've seen them a couple times, but
the only reason they caught my eyes because they're the same colors as Borussia Dortmund.
Borussia Dortmund, yeah, I know. That's the black and gold. I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you don't look at the top left corner, you'd think it is Borussia Dortmund with their kits. So, but
and you don't forget Tottenham has your favorite player doing it colonial style.
Yeah. Exactly.
James Madison.
Yep. So,
yeah, I think it's going to be. I mean, it has the chance to be. If England sweeps UEFA and Europa, there's no doubt about it. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that just solidifies their standing in the world again.
Yeah. All right, let's talk some top headlines, top stories. Kind of bounce around. Former FC Cincinnati player Aaron Bupenza, I think he's Brazilian, has died. 28 years old. Don't know the particulars, but he fell from an 11th floor building in China. He was playing for I don't know the details on that. Yeah, it's pretty shocking. Yeah.
It sounds to me like a drunken something or other, but I hope
that's just what I thought. Hey, yeah, I mean, I hate to say that, but that sounds. We were thinking the same thing. I thought the same thing as well. So, but yes, sad. I do remember when he played for Cincinnati.
I remember him. Yeah, I know his name right away.
Yeah. So, but all right. Real Madrid's future. Carlo Ancelotti may be on his way out in Real Madrid.
So when they broke that story with Ancelotti, I mean, you have two people came to mind: David Gerrard, who's miserable in Saudi Arabia, or you bring back the man, Zinedine Zidane, and run it back with him.
David Gerrard, former Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback.
Yes, who is now taking over the Ted Lasso role. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know what they do. Ancelotti's been great. He really has. But he's getting up there in age. Maybe it's time for him to step away. And you can't deny the success you had with Zidane.
Yeah. Well, reportedly, Trent Alexander-Arnold is on his way. He's going to be joining Real Madrid this summer, apparently is what they're saying.
Well, I know they need defense badly. Rudiger, he's just a bully anymore. He's getting to the point where he's getting into the Pepe range where every once in a while they'll make a play, but their liability speed wise and everything else.
Yeah.
I just think that that's going to be huge. I don't know what Liverpool can only sustain so many losses. Luckily, that just not too many miles away is City, who's losing De Bruyne. But I don't think they can sustain all these losses and succeed domestically. Do you?
I don't either. No, I don't either. But let's talk about this though. How about Virgil van Dijk signing a new deal with Liverpool? And I was shocked by this, Ed. We've been saying this. We've been saying this for months. We thought Mohamed Salah was on his way out. That we thought he was going to join the Saudi league. Everything, the news. I mean, it wasn't just us talking out our, what.
He said it.
Was a lot of reports.
He said it himself.
Yeah, he said it. He wanted out. He said he wanted out. It was like a Myles Garrett thing. I don't want to be here. I want out, And he's been saying this for months now. Everybody was tying him to the Saudi league. I mean, obviously, I know he's Egyptian. He's, but everybody was tying him to that. There was talks, reportedly, between him and, oh boy, he was the club. Al Nassr. Where Ronaldo plays.
Yeah.
So everything pointed to him leaving. Leaving. It was. I mean, he basically. I mean, he was cordial about it, but he basically badmouthed Liverpool. He basically was like, "I want out of here." But then he signs a deal. Here. And here they are hanging on to some of these veterans for a few more years. I mean, what do you make of that?
Money. I think Van Dijk's he's vital in the middle. He just is.
He
was hurt last year when he had his knee, and they couldn't do anything. I mean, literally couldn't do anything. So they got their captain on their defense back, and though Salah does not score he still scores, not to the amazing clip that he used to. But hey, you show them money, you show them, you open up your strategy. Maybe they told him this is our replacement for, this is what we're doing for, losing, Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is what we're going to do. And as I say that, I mean, he's the number one scorer in the whole. So if you look on the stats, most in goals 27 is Mohamed Salah. Most in assists is 18 Mohamed Salah. Then you have passes. The most completed passes is Virgil van Dijk. So they absolutely dominate the stats, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's huge for them. I mean, there's no doubt about it that's huge for them.
Sure, absolutely.
Back, so
yeah. So
and good for them. I mean, they're trying to unseat City, and we talked about this. 4 years of one team kind of takes your domestic league, makes it kind of a little. You question, the competition,
Yeah.
But now,
sure, absolutely.
We talked about it, but now that you have Liverpool in the driver's seat, I think it's just much better for the whole league.
Right. Yeah. And agreed.
But you look at your team. They were realistic. I really think they were realistic. We're at match day 33 today, so they sit 13 points behind.
Right. They know it's not going to happen.
And really, truly, the difference is in the last 5 games. Liverpool has a loss. Arsenal does not, but Arsenal has 3 freaking draws.
Right, and that's my point. You beat Real Madrid 5-1, but you draw against Everton. Everton is sitting at 38 points, sitting at number 13. You draw against them. Now, granted, you didn't play anybody.
They played, but they select players that they wanted for the Real Madrid clash. There was only I think 2 or 3, but that makes it.
And that's my point. That I just really believe they see the writing on the wall in the domestic league, and they're like, you know what, we're not going to win this. Let's focus on winning UEFA. This is our easiest path to hardware this year. I really believe that's their mentality. Can you blame them in a way? No, I mean I don't blame them in a way. I mean it's I will say one thing though, and it's just not me saying this. You talk to any of the experts. And they're talking about this. There's a lot of inconsistency with Arsenal,
no doubt.
And who do you put that on? You put that on Arteta? Does he not have these guys ready to win? I don't know. I mean, it's a very.
I'll tell you what though, because I was perusing yesterday, preparing for the show, and I watched a lot of the locker room behind the scenes stuff. Arteta does not hold back, man.
He gets in their ass.
He does not hold back. So I don't know if you I don't know if you necessarily place anything at the foot of his bed because he tells him you stink.
Yeah, no,
You
he's good.
stink.
People have been saying, "Oh, maybe they need a new manager." I'm not in that camp. I'm just throwing it out there. There's been some inconsistency. Of course, when there's any team, when there's inconsistency, who's going to get the first?
Sure, no doubt.
Right.
The manager.
Yeah, it's.
But
I
don't
love him.
forget, they're also missing Kai Havertz, who
Exactly. I
none
was
of us
just
would
going
have
to say
said,
that.
a couple
Yeah.
seasons ago that he's needed, but
Right.
they're missing him.
He is. Yeah, he's a big piece. I agree.
Yeah.
So but no, I mean he gets he gets in their ass when they're not playing well.
Yeah.
And he is a in your face type of
Yeah.
guy and gritty. And he said his grittiness comes from when he played in the Scottish Premier League for the Rangers. He said that made him into a man,
Yeah.
Because they're that's a gritty league, man. That's a tough that's a tough probably one of the toughest leagues in the world when it comes to physicality. I mean, they it's not for the faint of heart. You can't be a girly man and play in that league. You won't last. They'll chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah, you can't be hesitant whatsoever. You have to be on the front foot at all times.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I mean, like I said, I'm an Arteta fan. I'll back the guy. I think he's done a hell of a job. Let's bring it home, boys. Let's win this UEFA thing. Let's bring it home. Let's get some hardware this year. Domestic league, yeah, it sucks that you haven't won in a very long time, but let's be realistic and focus on the 50-meter target, if you will, and that's that's winning the UEFA. I mean, they're in the semifinals, and I mean, we talked about it. They can bring this thing home. There's no doubt in my mind they can bring this thing home.
Well, so they focus, and they took out. Real Madrid has won it 15 times.
Well, and if they play like they did against Real Madrid in each of these games, they're going to take home the hardware, no doubt about it. So,
yeah, I feel confident they're going to win it.
All right, let's talk another headline. Let's switch gears a little bit to our domestic league, the MLS. Lionel Messi to play against Columbus Crew in this today in Cleveland Browns Stadium. Going to be a sellout crowd. What do you make of that?
It's a great showcase for the MLS. There's no doubt about it. He's played in stadiums like that before. Played in Arrowhead, sold out. I mean, this is the advantage and disadvantage of having soccer-only stadiums, right? So the advantage of having soccer-only normally is that you take the club, Columbus Crew sits just under 20,000, and it looks packed all the time, which is fantastic. However, when you have big stars and big teams coming in, luckily they're owned by the Haslam family, who owns the Browns as well. So they're lucky enough to have that backup stadium. So, I mean, normally you play at the Bernabeu, you play at the Camp Nou. These are 80, 90,000, Wembley, 100,000, United, Old Trafford.
Signal Iduna is 100,000.
Yeah. So that's the advantage. But, I think it's going to be electric. I think it's going to be a showcase for the MLS. Hopefully it's on national television. I haven't checked. Is it?
I didn't see it on Fubo, but that's not to say that. And I was floored by that this morning when I didn't see it in Fubo. I'm like, you kidding me? Like, really?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they have it on. What do you call it? They're with Fox, maybe even ABC. I don't know.
Yeah,
because ABC has a piece of them as well.
Inter Miami had a scoreless draw last week against Chicago Fire. Dropped fourth in the standings. Listen, they're gonna be all right.
Do they get far in the playoffs? That's what I'm curious about, Billy.
I don't know. I think they're poised. These guys can stay healthy. I think Yeah, I think that they played a lot of matches. They played a lot of matches.
Right. That's why they got. That's why, as we talked, they got out of the business of doing the U.S. Open Cup.
Right. So,
which I think is a mistake.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Any other headlines I'm missing here? I mean, there's a lot of headlines. That
we talked about De Bruyne. Where do you think he's going?
I think he's going to the MLS. I really do. I think he's going to the MLS.
I mean,
he's not going to go to the Saudi league, right? I know they're offering him. They're throwing a lot of money. He's not going to go to the Saudi league. What do you think?
I would not go there, honestly. No. I mean, he's made a ton of money.
Does he join? Does he join Inter Miami? There's links to him going to Inter Miami.
No,
I don't want him doing it. I don't. Hey, I don't want him doing it. I don't want to. I'm not in favor of that at all. I don't. That's just not. That's not what I think. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good for the MLS. Him going to Inter Miami.
So the other people that are on the list, it's NYFC, DC United, somehow Chicago Fire.
There you go. Well, I tell you what. Say what you want about Chicago Fire. They're starting to like. They're trying to build everything. They're doing it the right way. They've been in a rebuild mode, and I think it's kind of starting to pay off. I mean, they're not where they need to be yet, but it's starting to kind of pay off for them. In a little bit.
I mean, it is. They have Greg Berhalter coaching, so I mean, I'm in 100% agree with you. I think it'll be strong for the MLS, to bring him in, but I don't want to see it all concentrated in one team.
I don't either. And then, like I said, I think that's bad for the league if he ends up going there. I know that there's been links to that. Hey, I'd like to see him on your club, the DC United.
Well, you look, and all the cities they named are all major cities. Right. I'm surprised one of the LA teams is not going to step up because, I mean, you go from these smaller towns in England, and then you go to, good Lord, you go to New York, Chicago, Washington, or LA. I mean, those are pretty good. And any of those cities, their significant others are going to be happy with.
Right.
When you go to the Saudi League, I mean, that's just the way their culture is. You're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
If you're a female, you're not going unaccompanied. There's not enough money to make me do that. There just isn't.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's a 1-year deal, you give me $1 billion, then I'll do it. Yeah. But otherwise, it's too much strain on your family, or you geo bachelor like we do in the military when we get, domestically, it's either geo bachelor or it's, you bring your family and they're miserable.
Right. So, you said about if you're a female, you're not going in a company. Yeah, that's definitely.
And then you can't really break their protocols because you're a guest in their country.
Right.
And you're going to leave. They have to live there forever,
Yep.
The domestic. So.
Let's talk real quick. Open Cup draw. It's the round of 32 is all set. Who do you – I'll tell you what, the team we cover that we beat the Riverhounds, great win the other night against Columbus. Now, I know that was their second tier team, but still good win for them. So
yeah, but Billy, we say second tier, but they're still a higher level, I think, than the USL, even if they're on.
Oh yeah.
And, well, I don't know. MLS next, I don't know where they rank, but
I'm looking at Sacramento. Them going to San Jose. I think that's going to be a good matchup.
And the next, they have the Riverhounds go against NYFC too.
Yep.
So, which will be interesting.
Yep. So,
but I think it'll all be good for them.
All right, let's talk. Let's go ahead and talk leagues here. Let's start with the EPL.
Well, we look at that table. We know what's happening.
Right.
So really, the battle there is who makes it to Europe, because from Arsenal to they get 5 spots this year. I mean, it's pretty darn tight. Right. You have 54. 7 is Aston Villa at 54. To a high of Arsenal at 63. So that's 9 points. Anything can happen in those.
Yeah.
So the top 6 have something to play for every week.
Right.
Not something. Nottingham Forest is trying to hold off City. City. I mean, it's all right there. I think Liverpool obviously has the edge. They're 13 points up.
Yeah.
Right. They have the edge. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I think that one's kind of wrapped up, I want to say, but I don't know. I mean, the other one, no reason talking about French League on, because they're 20 points ahead. That's over.
Yeah, that's over. Yeah,
La Liga's close. But the 2 up top are are always the 2 who are up top. It's 4 points. So you have Bilbao at 57, Atletico at 63, Real at 66, and Barca at 70. So that's close. That can change.
Yeah, that's going to be a league to watch right there. I think it's going to come down to the wire there.
And I didn't check the Bundesliga. Let's see how close that is. That's pretty close. 6 points, Bayern and Leverkusen. So that's pretty close. You know, Bayern's not guaranteed to win that. That's another one that's close.
Right.
And then you have Serie A. I think it's over. I think Internacional is ahead by considerable. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. So it's Inter at 71, Napoli at 68. So that's another close one.
Yeah.
You know, that's I mean, that's one game difference.
Yeah.
You know, somebody is up, somebody feels like playing, somebody doesn't feel like playing, and that changes that whole thing.
Right. Let's go back real quick to the Bundesliga. You know, I'm very disappointed in Borussia Dortmund, and I know they're rounding out the top 10.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, I mean, at 42 points, really.
Especially when you can see how they can play. Like when they played against Munich, it was a brilliant game, 2-2.
Right.
So when you can take on the big boys, you know, with not real, you know, and not see a huge fall off, you know, off the cliff, that means to tell me that something's going on managerial wise.
Right.
Because there's no reason why you shouldn't be fighting for a fourth spot. Which they're
great.
6 points behind, so it's only 2 games.
And here's another organization that has look at how many stars have went through that. It's staggering. I don't think there's been another organization that has had that many stars go through them. I mean, and
recently, I don't think so, Billy, because
not recently, but
I'm saying not like in the last like the 10-year stretch they had. I don't remember anything like that.
Anybody,
at all.
Right.
You'd have to go back, way back. You know.
Right. But I mean, I don't know. They have not been able to get it together.
It's supremely impressive. It truly is. That's really a testament to their youth league.
Yeah.
I mean, look at them all go through. Jadon Sancho, Jordan Bellingham, Lewandowski, Pulisic, Holland. I mean, and we're missing probably 5 or more, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're missing some of the top stars in the world right now.
Right.
It's just so impressive, the program that they have. That's what we should really focus on one time is that check out their academy, see who's coming up.
Right. Well, going into this year, I really had high expectations for them. And then they haven't put it together. I mean,
they were just in the final a couple years ago.
Yeah,
they lost 2-0. You know,
I mean, Garassi. God, that. Am I pronouncing his name? That's my Pittsburghese coming. Garassi.
Garassi. That's close.
No, but he has killed it. He has freaking 15 goals.
Yeah.
Gittins is right behind him with 8, but I mean, they just have not. It hasn't translated into anything. Their defense too has been atrocious this year. It's been very, very bad. They've given up a ton of goals. They can't hold on to leads. I mean, and once again, they're another team that tends to draw a lot and tends to draw against teams that they should beat. And I mean, that comes out that comes back to haunt you eventually. And when you're looking at the end of the season, they're sitting at 8. That's why. I mean, I don't know.
It's and really that truly is the difference between hardware and no hardware when it comes to domestically.
Yeah,
it's just far too many draws.
Yeah, far too many draws. They've had 6 draws. They've had 11 losses. Goal differential at +9. Yeah, I mean that's why they're sitting at the 8th spot. And you got the top teams that are just
they just win, baby. They just win. They win. They win.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference, man.
Yep. So, all right. Anything else that we want to cover real quick? I know.
No, we hit it pretty. I mean, for us being off, we hit it pretty well.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, real quick, what are you watching this weekend? What do you? I mean, obviously, if you
the Premier League just started. I watched a little bit of the La Liga this morning with Valencia, and we forgot to talk, Billy. The St. Pauli girl, man, they're still in it.
Yeah. How about that, huh?
Yeah, I mean they're still in it, which is impressive. Yeah. But I mean EPL is going to dominate my day.
Yeah.
because they do a great job now on Peacock where they have a quad screen. So I'll take a peek at that for a while, and then unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I have a birthday dinner for the wifey tonight. So
unfortunately, boy, you better hope she's not listening.
She's not. No, I meant unfortunately because there's a soccer game.
Unfortunately, I got a birthday dinner for the wife.
We went out last night.
Yeah, that'll go real well.
Yeah, we had a great birthday dinner last night. We're gonna go have another one tonight, and Billy's gonna.
Well, I think when we wrap it up here, she's gonna be in the kitchen or in the living room or something like that with her arms crossed like this, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, unfortunately, oh, okay." Yeah. Explain that a little bit more, Edward.
Yes, that's why I'm in the Lego room. Nobody can hear me.
Oh, it's soundproof. That's right.
Exactly. You're smarter than the average bear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Like I said, we've been down for a little bit, month and a half, but we're going to be more consistent here. The schedule, has opened up, and we got a lot more. Well, it was mainly me that working those Penguin games was a little bit trying, but we're back. We're going to be back. We're going to be consistently doing shows. So look for us. Look for us to keep it going here, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about. As we said, we picked a good time to come back into it. There's a lot going on, and a lot of races and a lot of things. Seasons coming to a close here very soon in the next few weeks, and we'll be there to talk about it. So, and we hope you'll be there to listen to us. So, but and also comment, man. You got something you want us to cover or talk about? Put it in the comments, man. We'll be glad to hash into anything you got out there.
Anything.
Yeah. So we'd be glad to do it. So, but yep. All right. Hey, thanks for everybody for tuning in. I want to say I hope everybody has a happy Easter. Enjoy your family. Enjoy the soccer matches. Like I said, there's going to be some good matches this weekend. But yeah. So, but yep. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week.